So just a few hours ago, they finally announced the anime adaptation for Dandadan, and I am super excited for it, which is why I just really want to talk about it. It's a manga that I've been wanting to talk about in the past on my channel, I just haven't gotten around to it. But now that the anime got announced, I am just full of excitement, so when I came from work, I just instantly came to my desk, sat down, and now I'm here to talk about it. I'm gonna talk about why I personally love this manga, I'm gonna talk about why you should either read this manga as soon as possible or why you should wait for the anime, and why I think that the anime is gonna be fantastic, because I just want to talk about it. This video might be a bit rambly, I don't have any notes, I usually don't do videos like this, but I'm just excited and I want to talk about Dandadan. So, Dandadan is a series in Shonen Jump, and it features our two main characters, our lovely main characters that you can see on the cover here, and they go on really weird adventures. Maybe you could even say bizarre adventures, but this is a strange manga. It's basically a comedy, but it's also a battle manga, it's a battle shonen, it's a romance between them here. It's also a horror manga, which you might not immediately guess from... this really colorful cover art, which I'm trying to show now, but it's a bit harder. You might not be able to guess it right away, but it is a genuine horror manga. It deals with aliens, it deals with ghosts, it has some genuinely unsettling pages that you would turn the page and there would just be this very creepy drawing looking at you. But somehow, even if it has so much going on, like, it's also... That's better. Like, it's also a sci-fi series, but even though it has so much going on, this series pulls it off and it actually doesn't feel messy somehow. And I think that that's because at the core of this story, it's just a... might sound a bit dumb because it's kind of a meme nowadays to say it. This manga just has soul, and the soul kind of just keeps it together. The characters are fantastic. I absolutely adore them. The two main characters, but also the extended main cast. I don't have more volumes than 3, but the extended main cast is also really good. All the side characters are lovely, they're super charming, and they also grow throughout the story. Sometimes you have those romance manga, I'm not gonna name names, but you might have some on screen right now. Sometimes you do have those slice of life romance mangas. Oh yeah, this is also slice of life, by the way. Kind of. And they often just don't go anywhere. And it's not like it's going somewhere in the way that, like, the Bunny Girl Senpai characters are, like, canonically dating after the first volume. But they're not static characters in any way. Their relationship is developing, but it's more so the classic shonen of will they, won't they, that a lot of people probably enjoy. And I like it in this series because I feel like it's going somewhere. I feel like the series isn't gonna leave me hanging in the end with a cliffhanger of like, oh, what's gonna happen? I actually do feel like it will go somewhere in the end, but I'm just saying that it's not like Bunny Girl Senpai. Don't expect him to be like canonically a couple after volume 1. The cast is also ever growing. Every arc so far, like every main arc, there's actually been a new main character that's been introduced, and every time that it happens, I start off thinking like, do we really need another character? I don't know if I like this character. But then the arc gets going, their backstory hits, I'm fucking crying because this manga has some fantastic emotional moments. And by the end of the arc, I just end up loving the characters, and I'm always happy that someone new got introduced in the end. And even though there are so many characters, and even though they keep introducing new characters, I don't feel like the old characters are getting pushed to the side. I feel like every single character pulls their weight, both story-wise, in the fact that they still get their moments, of their character to shine on like an emotional level, but also in the way of battles. I don't feel like there's a power creep whenever a new character gets introduced, so to say. I don't know how they do it, but every single character that's introduced is somehow super charming, gets me to love them even though I might have really not liked them from the beginning. And through every following arc, they still get their moments to shine. It's honestly fantastic. I don't know how this manga does it, but it's just really good at mixing all of those genres, but also mixing the very in-your-face comedy, the very in-your-face battle arcs, it somehow mixes them together perfectly with the slower chapters. The chapters where it's just our main duo talking to each other. The chapters where it is just a really slow, tragic backstory of a new character. It doesn't feel strange going from a battle one chapter to a slower chapter the next. It all works somehow. I feel like this shouldn't work as well as it should. It deals with so many things, it has so many characters, it has so many themes, it goes from batshit crazy to comedy to depression to horror. It fucking jumps from one page to the next, but it works somehow. And I think that that's honestly phenomenal. But as a battle manga, it also just works really, really well. It's got extremely hype battles, and the art is honestly phenomenal to the point that I don't know how. I'm saying this a lot. I don't know how this manga works. I don't know why it's so good. The art, I genuinely don't know how it's so good. This art is on the same tier as some monthly mangas. You have some, because of course monthly mangas, they have more time to write their chapters, the artist has more time to draw, so the art is usually also a bit higher than weekly stuff. But the art in this, the double page spreads in this, there are some chapters where I am now in the manga, like in the newest ones, where there would be like 3 to 4 double page spread artworks that look absolutely insane, with beautiful art that looks dynamic, that pops out of the pages, with the characters that have so much charm. It's phenomenal. The art is phenomenal, the battles are phenomenal. From the longer battles that kind of feel like a finale of sorts, to the smaller battles, the smaller scales battles with lower stakes. Every single arc gets the same treatment in terms of quality with writing and art. But that's of course the manga side of things, like the art is a manga thing. So how about the anime? I honestly think that the anime has a very good chance of being on the same tier, of being fantastic, of being an instant classic, because it's being done by this studio. And you might not know that studio instantly. It's not as well known as something like MAPPA or Madhouse or A1 Pictures or Studio Trigger or anything like that. But they've recently done the Scott Pilgrim anime and they did Devilman Crybaby. They're an anime studio that doesn't take on that many projects, but I kind of like that. I feel like they're a studio that takes their time with their productions, and you can kind of see it in all of their shows. All of their shows have this attention to detail that's not found in a lot of other anime adaptations. Their art is always phenomenal, their animation is always super fluent, the music is also being done by the same guy that did Devilman Crybaby, which had an absolutely phenomenal OST. The trailer for the Dandadan anime already had a absolutely perfect song. It fits the vibe of this so well. Because, as I've been saying, this manga does a lot of stuff. That's basically the only thing that I've been saying in this video. So it might be a bit hard to think of an OST that fits with it, because it kind of needs that chaotic feeling that a manga has, the bombastic feeling that it has, but it also needs to have that strange tone to it, to fit with the moods that this story goes with. And just a small snippet of the OST that we got in the trailer is already fantastic. I don't know, I feel like I can talk about this forever, but I also feel like I'm repeating myself really often, so I think I might just end it here. To close off though, to just put a nice string on top, I absolutely adore the series, in case that wasn't clear yet. It is one of my favorite mangas ever. It's a manga that took my attention, and it just held on to me, and it never let go. I started reading this manga in... Let me just check my Annie list. I started reading this manga last year in May of 2022, and I caught up to the series in about 2 days. I'm pretty sure it had around 50 to 60 chapters at the time. And if you know me, which you probably don't, I'm like a really small creator on this massive platform. But if you know me, I don't read manga that fast usually. Like, I've been reading Claymore for the past year, a series that I've been absolutely loving. But it's been a year and I'm on chapter 60. I read at least 60 chapters in 2 days, which to a lot of people might be like, oh, 60 chapters in 2 days. I read 60 chapter every day. I read 100 chapters every day. So it might not be special for everyone, but for me, just that I read so many chapters in such a short amount of time, to me that means that it's a special series. It's a series that hooked me, it hasn't let go. I have notifications on for every time that a new chapter drops. I read it as soon as it comes out. And I can't wait, because I just know that every single chapter is gonna be packed with heart and soul. I know that I'm gonna get fantastic art. I know that I'm either gonna get a awesome battle, or a beautiful, wholesome character moment, or a emotional backstory that will bring me to tears, or sometimes even all the three of those things that I just mentioned in one single chapter. I'm kind of stumbling over my words here, but I hope that I got my message across. This is an absolutely phenomenal series. I adore it with my whole heart, and I think that the anime series is gonna do it justice. But if you're someone like me, who sometimes like to read ahead, like when an anime gets announced and you're just like, oh, I'm gonna watch that, but I'm also gonna go ahead and read the manga. Like, it's also something that I'm gonna do with Kaiju number 8 that got an anime announced and it's coming out very soon. And I picked up volume 1 to just kind of read it, get a vibe for the series before I start watching it. But, you know, if you're someone like me and you like doing that, pick up this manga, read it online. You can read it for free on the Jump app. I'll have it on screen. It's phenomenal, you won't regret it. And I think that the anime is gonna do it justice. Again, the anime studio, I feel like, handles every project that it does with care, and it's coming out next year. I can't wait for it. That's basically all I had to say. I am sorry for this video. I feel like it's a really messy video. I feel like it's really... I'm jumping from page to page. But that's... I'm excited. And I just really wanted to talk about it. I don't know. I always... Like, this is a very different video from how I usually make my stuff. But I just couldn't not talk about Dandadan with the recent announcement. So, that's what I did. If you like this video, leave a like. If you really want to, you can subscribe. Again, this content is a bit different from my usual stuff. Usually I talk about gaming, like JRPGs, PlayStation. But I do sneak in the anime manga video here and there. Like I made a One Piece video, I now made a Dandadan video. I've been wanting to make this video for a while. I'll probably make more random manga anime videos here and there. So, subscribe if you like it. You don't have to though. I feel like this video is kind of a shit show. Just constantly fucking jumping around. So I'm gonna end it here before I start rambling more. I hope you enjoyed the video. Hopefully I'll see you again soon. Hopefully you'll read Dandadan. I don't know why I did that.